Can you beat teardown without tools? The rules are no tools except for the spray can, and we can't use any mods. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, we see how this is gonna be hard. Because of this tree blocking the door, so we cannot turn on the power. So we have to, instead of hitting it with our hammer, we have to go over here, grab this vehicle, and literally bash through the building to get inside. But we do end up being able to turn on the power and finally starting the store. The first mission is to destroy this house. First things first, we're gonna wanna have to grab all of these explosives and bring them over to the chimney so we can take care of the chimney, since it's the hardest part to destroy. Then we just run over the house and easy first mission. We beat this mission the same way I would have done it if I had tools. This one's very easy. The first thing we gotta do before we start mission 2 is toss our sleeping bag off the edge. It's very needed. If you don't do this, you can't win. For mission 2, we have to steal 3 computers. All we gotta do is crash some vehicles into some buildings so that we can steal them. And they don't activate alarms yet. That happens in later missions. So, mission 2 was pretty easy. Although we do have to do some epic parkour to get to this one. Mission 3 is already a bit concerning because of the door being locked, and yeah, we can't open it. But all we have to do is do some parkour on the bushes to get around it. And after 4 minutes of planning, I've figured out the path that we need to use to get all the collectibles. Because now they have timers in, which means we have to get the collectibles and get out. First thing we gotta do is crash right through this building so that we can access the collectible in here. Then I fail to crash into this building and have to reset to an earlier checkpoint so I can get the car back. Then I have to smash through this window so that we can do the mission faster. Then we gotta make sure to break open an escape route. Then after all that, we can steal the 3 things and get out of here with ease. For mission 3, we have to crash this boat into the house to try and break it down. And then we have to drop a safe out this window by fidgeting it around a lot, because it's a heavy safe, so it's hard to move around, and we have to break open this window. It took forever, but eventually we got it. Then we have to make sure to fix our roof, and then we can move on to mission 4. The 4th mission is definitely the hardest one yet. Right off the bat, there's a wall that we have to crash a car through to be able to access all of the things we need to steal. This boat has one of the things we have to steal on it, so we have to move it close to our escape vehicle so that we can steal both of the cars in quick succession so that we don't have to worry about the timer. And we have to break open this wall with the vehicle so that we can move the car onto dry land and off of the boat easier. Then we have to drive this carrier car with the car that we're trying to steal all the way over to the van, accidentally not save and insert it, wasting my time and having to do the entire mission again. But after that goof up round, we decided to use this big claw thing to grab the vehicle inside of this crate and bring it closer onto land, which made us beat the mission very, very quickly. For this next mission, we have to drop 4 cars into a lake. The first thing we have to do is drive this car over near the edge of the water, so that right after we dump the other 2 in, we can drop this one in immediately, very quickly. So what we gotta do is we grab this red car, back up, and bam, it starts the timer. And I accidentally started driving backwards, because I'm an idiot. And then we try and get this car into the water, but this attempt was way too slow and I messed up a couple times, so we have to try again. So for attempt 2, I used this car that we're not meant to toss in the water to break open holes in the walls so that we can get the cars out and into the water faster and easier. But after 5 attempts, we finally stole all of the cars and tossed them into the ocean. Then once we're back at home, we knock our lamp onto our couch to start a fire and move on to the next mission. Right off the back, this level is a bit worrying because we have no vehicles to crash through this wall on this mission, but we can just do some parkour to get over it and onto the other side. This big boat was worrying because I had no way to get over to it and it was chained down. and I wasn't sure how I was going to do either of those. So I crashed this crane into the boat, so now I could get inside and steal the GPS device. But I still got to move the boat closer to my escape vehicle so that I can easily grab all 3 of the GPS devices very quickly and get out. So then I took this to knock out all the chains that are holding the boat down. And this car one was pretty easy to move over there, a lot easier than the big boat. But once we got both of those next to our escape vehicle, we beat it pretty easily. This next mission is automatically worrying, because there's these bombs it wants us to use to destroy a tower. Which usually if they give you an extra tool to destroy something, it means you probably need it to destroy it. So it's going to be hard destroying this without him. Or so you may think, but actually it's super easy. There's so many vehicles and we destroy the tower super quickly. This mission, we have to collect 4 paintings, and it is definitely the most hard and frustrating one yet. I have to carefully plan out my path, and it gets pretty challenging. Things are going normal until I have to get to this shortcut where I have to break through this glass, but of course I do not have a hammer. But all I gotta do is toss a plant onto it, and then bam, we have another shortcut to beat this even faster. And then this glass is hard to break through, so I have to grab a bunch of chairs and keep throwing them at the same spot from different angles until finally I can break it open. And now that I've prepared the path, I can finally steal all 3... Wait a minute. I'm supposed to get 4. I just wasted time doing like 3 different runs trying to get 3 paintings. So we just add 1 more painting to our path and bam, we beat it after a couple more attempts. This next mission had me worried because there was lightning strikes and a lack of being able to use the fire extinguisher, and I had to steal 4 things. First of all, we run into these boxes that get struck by lightning, but we can, if we act fast enough, run over or toss the fire parts into the lake and stop the fire alert from going off at this point. But then this house lights on fire, but this is pretty easily stoppable too. Except after I toss all the garbage that fell down into the water, I realize it lights the entire building on fire. But I do believe it is possible. I tried many times and I got pretty close to stopping it. But then I tried this other house on the other side, and this one is definitely not possible. So our challenge ends here. It is not possible to beat teardown without tools. If you liked that video, you'll love this video where I
cannot be removed. You thought you got rid of me.